Hey, 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 welcome to the first episode of Generation 1099. Mostly reseller talk, eBay, Mercari, Amazon, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, but then a lot of us have other side hustles. So that's why I named it Generation 1099. So we could talk about some of those things as well. Also, this is loosely tied into my association with being a seller diversity advocate for eBay. And my platform was Generation X. I'm a first wave Gen Xer. And so I wanted to pick someone in their 30s, someone from the 40s, someone in their 50s. So I did that. So let me tell you the panel and I'll let them introduce themselves. Okay. So I have Hugo and Tiffany. We all know them on Instagram as SellQuickShipQuick. And I had the great pleasure of hanging out and partying with them and learning at eBay Open. A great couple. I knew from as soon as I met them, you guys are going to be like resellers, social media superstars. And then, of course, we all know Julie, Casa Chic. She's Casa Chic Store on Instagram, and she has a Facebook group and a couple other things, and I'll let her tell you about that. And then Kenneth, known as IBFlippingDaily. I just recently found Kenneth. I was interested because he also sells some of the retro 80s and 90s streetwear, which I love to do. But then what really hooked me was a duck. A duck. I'll let him tell you about the duck. Okay? So Hugo and Tiffany, you want to go first?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. So, like she said, we are SellQuickShipQuick. SellQuick. Ship quick.
Yeah, and we just hit our 1-year anniversary selling together on the 26th of January. And we sell on
multiple platforms.
Yeah, multiple platforms, and we have like 3 other jobs.
Yeah. So we sell on eBay, Posh,
Mercari, Amazon, local sales
like Let Go and OfferUp.
Mm-hmm. We're personal trainers.
Yeah, we're personal trainers together.
We help run my family's 2 restaurants, 2 Vietnamese restaurants. And I'm also the financial aid director at a vocational school. And then we're lab instructors there as well.
Yeah. And then we do some property management for my mom's properties.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Whoa, even I didn't know it was that extensive. I did not even know it was that extensive. Did you guys? I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome. Good. So you guys will probably have some interesting things for our 1099 diversity report later. Julie, you're up.
Well, I kind of feel kind of lazy now because they're doing so much.
Hey, they're in their 30s. Okay, yeah. You remember that. We were still partying.
I barely remember that. I'm Julie. I live in South Florida. I'm a lawyer, and I stopped practicing when I had 2 kids in 2 years, and I had an infant and a 2-year-old, and I started to sell my lawyer clothes on this site called eBay, which was brand new, and I got almost as much money as I had paid for them after I wore them through 2 pregnancies. And then I got kind of hooked. So I didn't quit my lawyer job to sell on eBay, but it came at a great time. So I told all my friends what I was doing, and they all gave me their stuff to sell for them. And I started a consignment business. So I've been selling on eBay since the spring of 2000. During that time, I also had some retail stores for a while, but I don't have them anymore. And I'm still practice law part-time. I have a consulting business. And I just started a reseller school called Sourcing School, where I'm doing online classes to help people not learn how to sell, but kind of learn what to sell, how to source better. So those are my businesses right now, today. But now Hugo and Tiffany kind of motivated me, like I got to add some more.
Well, that's why one of the reasons I thought it'd be interesting to have, different generations, so to speak, different ages, because, there's different phases in your life where, what's more important and how your energy level, and, things like that. But anyways, you're up, Kenneth.
Hey guys, how are you? Kenneth from Atlanta. Get this, I'm part of the 30s group. Yeah. So I started flipping stuff, I guess, a couple of years ago. Started dumpster diving, selling the finds on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and eBay. Go figure, there's actually a market for used magazines. I would have never guessed. But yeah, I found a few cool things. Been in Atlanta for 30 years, married, 2 children. That's me. Haven't been flipping much lately or sourcing. Working on a patent right now. I hope that all of us will find it useful, and we'll talk about that in a couple of shows.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, to hear more about that. That's quite a process. I think a lot of people will find that interesting, Kenneth. Well, okay, then before we start this different segments, just let me say I do have everyone's Instagram links down below and Julie's Patreon. And to get to anyone's YouTube channel, which I think so far Julie's the only one that has started uploading on YouTube, but I really suspect, I totally predict Hugo and Tiffany and Kenneth will be. So if you go into the chat, over on the right of someone's name, not their picture, but over on the right, there'll be some 3 little dots. And if you click those, one of the options will be go to channel, and you can catch people that way. Okay, so we will start the first segment, which is unique sale of the day. I also happen to have started a hashtag on Instagram for that. Feel free to use it. Hashtag unique sale of the day. So Hugo, Tiffany, you want in on this one?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We have a couple. Does that
Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, so last week we had 2 unique sales from the same sourcing trip, which Hugo stumbled on.
I just fall on things sometimes.
We were actually around about 5 other resellers who walked past the same item, and the bright yellow shirt caught his eye, and it was a dead stock Yamaha Molly vintage motorcycle polo shirt that we didn't see any comps online, only used items.
Yeah, and not the exact one.
Yeah, not the exact one. They were comped at like $80, $90 for long sleeve used, and we priced ours at like $200.
Yeah, we went, no, let's just go 200. We had to control the market at that point. So
Yeah.
we were like, let's give it a shot. And
it sold within a few weeks of us picking it up.
We took best offer.
Because our customer wrote us a really nice comment. Yeah, he wrote us a really nice comment, and it was, hey, I know you guys have it priced at this high. I would really love this shirt, but please let me know if you want a higher offer. This is what I can afford right now, but I would really appreciate
keeping me in mind.
Yeah, keeping me in mind. But please let me know if this is not what you guys want for this item. And because he wrote us such a nice comment, we just took it.
Yeah. Plus, it was an incredible sale for us because we got it on sale. We picked up that shirt on sale.
It was half off.
Like $250. So when they offered $120, okay.
Definitely.
And then your other
and then the other one from the same place was actually an anthology collection of Kate Bush, who I don't know who that is. But
I don't know if you guys have heard of
I
Kate.
do.
Okay, there you go.
It's a generation thing already.
Yeah.
And it was from the same story.
Same story. In one of those situations where we were paying, and through the corner of my eye, I saw the anthology collection, and I just clicked it in while he was scanning things, and I was just like, can I get that half off? Sure. So we got it half off for $5, and then sure enough, in about 3 weeks, that anthology sold for about $140.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I mean, the reason we bring that up is, one, there's vintage clothes that you wouldn't recognize, because I never knew Yamaha made shirts. So when I saw that, I was like, that's funny. Yamaha made a shirt. And then we looked it up.
Yeah.
And then anthologies, I know a lot of people skip media, but anthologies, if they're complete, can be worth looking up to sell.
Yeah.
Definitely. This is what I think is so cool about the reseller community. Covers all age groups. This is what's so cool, that we learn from each other. You know, like there's things that are hip, you know, in the 30 and 20-year-old, you know, whatever world that I might not necessarily be exposed to, because I'm still over here listening to Led Zeppelin, right? So, you know, and then like, you know, you guys can look to some of us older people for that, you know, what's really the 90s and the 80s stuff, you know, so I really love that. Another thing I want to tell everybody watching is every single one of us is afraid to use the screen share. Okay, we'll figure it out. But for now, if you want to see what Hugo and Tiffany were talking about, you can go check over on their Instagram page, because I saw it over there too. Okay, Julie, you got something for this segment?
This hasn't sold yet, and I'm not a haul person. I don't do hauls. I don't watch hauls. I watch yours, but I don't. I like to talk about what's sold. However, I told Yvon about this. I found this fish. I don't know if you could see it. It's a glass. It's a Murano glass fish. It weighs 8 pounds, and it's I picked it up the other day in a thrift store, and it is a Murano glass, and it was signed on the bottom, and it said Oggetti, Oggetti, and that's a Murano glass brand. And not all of it is that pricey, but this is signed by an artist, and I have an appointment next on the weekend to go get it appraised at an art gallery, because some of these pieces, especially the ones like with this rainbow, it's got like, you can't really see, it's like a rainbow, have sold for thousands of dollars. So I don't think this one's worth thousands of dollars, and I'm a little scared to ship it. So hopefully this art gallery will take it on consignment, because I would like to not have to worry about it breaking during shipment, because I'm not really a hard goods lover. I sell fashion. 90% of my sales are fashion. So, but that was like an exciting find, and I just grabbed it. I didn't even look it up in the thrift store. I saw, if you find pieces that feel and look really great and they're signed on the bottom, they're usually a good flip. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think you can still call that a unique sale today. That's going to sell. Just hopefully. A matter of when and where and how much. So come back.
I will report back after my meeting on Saturday what they say it's worth. So.
Cool. Kenneth, you got something for us?
What's up, guys? Unique sells. Okay, I don't know if they're really that unique, guys. I just pulled up my eBay account on sold items, and they're actually a bit funny. A vintage Tommy Hilfiger hockey jersey. At the stores I shop at, all jerseys are $2.99, and that one sold for $100. Wow. I picked up a book one day for $7 bucks. Don Troiani's Civil War. He was an artist and author, and I flipped that for $95 last week. Yeah, a Ralph Lauren holiday sweater. I popped that for $100 before the holidays. You know, here and there, but I haven't been listing, guys. Therefore, really haven't been selling much. I've been working on a lot of projects. But yeah, that's my unique.
Again, you guys, we're all scared to death of the screen share button. We'll get it figured out for next time so we can pull them up. And in the meantime, it's over on our Instagrams or in our stores. You're welcome to follow my store. Most of you do. Okay, so the next segment is Reseller Confessions, My Bads, and What the Fs. Tiffany and Hugo, do you guys have a My Bad where you made a mistake, or just something weird that happened that made you go, what the?
Oh, all the time. So I think our first big one was the Omega juicer.
Yeah.
We KonMari'd our house before KonMari made it to Netflix.
We did it before it was cool.
We did it when I read the book, and we went into our kitchen. We took apart different appliances we weren't using. We sold those for parts, and we had an Omega juicer, and we took all the pieces apart, listed those. We listed the actual motor, which was really heavy. Mr. ShipQuick.
This is before I was shipped quick. I wasn't shipped well.
He put the motor in the large priority box, but he didn't try to close it. And he said, oh, yeah, that'll ship in the large priority box. Well, it finally sold, And then when it's sold, he couldn't put it in the box with padding and close it well.
Oh.
So we lost $2 on that.
Yeah,
maybe?
we ended up paying $2 for this person to take our juicer order.
Yeah, so that was our first real big one.
Yeah, but the reason, thankfully, it was our stuff. That's what we always suggest people sell your own stuff first, because
then I didn't feel like we lost money completely.
Because it was something we just had at home.
We were gonna get rid of it anyway. And then our second one,
which we're working on. Anymore.
Our FedEx thing. So we also sell on Mercari, and if it's over a pound, we'll choose the FedEx route because it's $6.50 to ship on Mercari rather than USPS, which is $8. Well, Hugo had gotten all our shipping together, which is a mix of Posh, eBay, Mercari, dropped it all off at the post office. Our Burton snowboarding pants did not track. I got emails from the customer. What happened was he dropped off the FedEx package at USPS. It didn't start tracking. USPS had just put it in their little like lost and found corner.
Yeah. So thankfully the next morning I went in, I was like, I left the FedEx package here. And then the lady looked at me, and because we have like cute little poly mailers, she recognized that I'm the guy that brings those in. So she's like, I know you. Here you go. And
our most recent thing, besides the cross post, and totally use this as like example. We try to like take things off right away, but because
we'll have the same item put, like especially clothing.
Yeah.
Will be on Mercari, Posh, and eBay.
So usually the second it sells, we'll take it off the other two platforms. But if we're at one of our other jobs, sometimes we forget, or we assume that the other is going to do it. Well, that didn't happen because these were older sales.
Before we were on top of it.
Yeah, before we were really on top of it. So 2 weeks ago, we made 2 sales back to back on Posh and Mercari that had previously sold on eBay. So we had to cancel those 2 orders. But luckily, it wasn't an eBay sale that we had to cancel. It was a Mercari sale we had to cancel.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we baby our eBay. So this past week, I printed out complete printouts of all 3 stores, and I cross-checked our entire inventory for clothes and shoes. And I found like 5 other items that should not have been listed
on one platform or another. So,
you guys are awesome for admitting all of that. You know, a lot of times that's the way it goes for a lot of us. We made a mistake. We learned the hard way. So thanks for sharing, because maybe you might help a new person out. Julie, what went wrong with you, or what was just made you go, what?
Well, you know, my New Year's resolution is to stop multitasking, because as a mom, now my kids are in college, but as you know, moms are always multitasking. And I thought I was good at it, but I think I make mistakes too much when I multitask. So I thought I was doing good, but then I think the first or second week of January, I sold a pair of sneakers for $225. And I sold a top that was on Poshmark. No, that was on eBay. And then I sold the top for $20 on Poshmark. And I don't know how I did this, but the labels got put on the wrong box. So the priority box label, well, I guess they were both priority because Posh only ships priority. Anyway, they got switched. And normally I would just refund everybody, but this was $225. So the lady on Poshmark gets the shoes and she is like, I want my top. I want my $20 top. What are these ugly shoes? And I'm like, these are Stella McCartney. They're Stella McCartney. So I was like, oh my gosh. So she opens up a case on Posh and I say, please, Poshmark. And Poshmark is like weird because they don't have anyone you can call. And if somebody opens up a return, you can't just say, okay, send it back. You have to go and email. And I was like, put in the email, in the messages, send it back. So Posh sent her a label. And I contacted the lady who I sent the top to by mistake. And I was like, I am so sorry. You are not getting your shoes. Refuse the package. Because I didn't want her to have to go through the trouble of opening a case and everything. So she refused the top. And I didn't care if the top never made it back because that was only a $20 sale. And I said, if I get the shoes back, I'll let you know. Otherwise, I'll refund you. And she was so nice. And this is why you should always have good communications with your buyers, because not only was she so nice and patient, she waited for the shoes to come back from Poshmark, which the lady on Poshmark was honest and didn't try to just sell these $200 shoes herself, which she could have done. You know, I wouldn't have, I mean, it wouldn't be right, but she could have done it. So I ended up sending, and it took like 2 weeks. So I printed another label on eBay, and I was able to reship the shoes to the lady on eBay without her opening a case or anything like that. So got to pay attention when you're doing your shipping not to do that, because it's really annoying for buyers. I mean, it's just, if I got the wrong thing, I'd be so annoyed. So.
And sometimes it doesn't always work out. Like some customers aren't always honest. Like you could get screwed.
I mean, these were expensive. She could have easily flipped them on Poshmark. I mean, they're $600 shoes new. So, you know, she could have tried to sell them herself anywhere, wear them. I don't know. So luckily it all worked out, but it reminded me to slow down when I'm doing my shipping and pay attention, because that's a bad, expensive mistake. And I did lose the $20 sale. The lady on Poshmark didn't want me to she didn't want to rebuy it or anything. And that's, you know, too bad for me. But luckily the $225 sale was saved.
I agree. There are some areas of our business that multitasking is just not a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, Kenneth, what you got?
Oh, errors. Gosh, where do I start, truthfully? You know, guys, as soon as I see an error, I immediately just send them a message. Hey, I jacked this up. I'm issuing a full refund. Please donate the item. I don't waste time on that stuff. The cross shipping, I figured something out last month. Amazingly, it was the first time I ever cross shipped something. So I got it cross shipped. One customer in New York said, hey, what am I supposed to do with these Disney smocks? And I said, oh gosh. He ordered the t-shirt that I sent to the nurse in California. So immediately I said, hang on, let me figure this out. Real cool guy, really wanted this t-shirt. $70 Nike shirt. Go figure. But anyway, so I get in touch with the nurse, send her multiple messages, no response in 2 days. I've still got this guy on the lam here. And she finally responds, and my message to her was basically, hey, I sent you the wrong package. I'm issuing you a total refund upon the new shipping label being scanned by USPS. And of course, I told the guy in New York I wanted him to send me the smocks back, and I would do the same with him. As soon as the scan was done, I would issue him a full refund. Well, what I did, so it didn't cost me so much money, him shipping it to me shipping it to her doing the same thing, I started doing some research, trial and error. And do you know, when you issue a return, that you have the option to put a new address in? So that's what I did for each of them. I put my name, put their address, and each of them shipped to each other. And at least it saved me another $20 maybe. I don't know.
Unique approach. Yeah, that was a unique approach. If you know, did it work out? Were they both trustworthy? Did that work?
Oh yeah, yeah. People are getting stuff for free. They love it every day, you know. Yeah, recently I had my first neutral. Guy wrote a pretty rough report, basically said I was dishonest, but still only gave me a neutral. Researched that, and I went back to the sold item. I remembered the item vaguely, And I looked at the listing, and I went ahead and clicked on photos, and there was one photo on it. Never happens to me. There's minimum of 6 photos per item.
Right.
And I had taken one photo, thrown it to the side, saw it as a draft, and went live. I saw the vest. Let's put it live. You know, I gave him a full refund too. Yeah, but this segment could go on for hours. Let's go on to the next one.
Well, I'll actually jump in on this one with a my bad. This was crazy. So I lost $80 or $90 sale on Poshmark, and I upset someone greatly. I'm almost embarrassed to admit this. I was trying to do the right thing. Okay, can I just say eBay is my first love. Poshmark, I'm okay with it, but I have a lot to learn. So she bought 2 items together, and I saw she was new. She had nothing in her closet. And she paid for them separately. And I was trying to be nice and put them in a bundle to save her shipping, right? And give her a little discount. Well, I made the mistake of canceling her 2 orders and doing that for her before I made sure she was still logged into Poshmark and that we could talk about it. She never came back. She needed these for a fashion show or something and wanted to make sure I could get them at a certain time, which was no problem. But she logged off and never came back until the day before. And she's like, so you can imagine, you guys can fill in the blanks. Luckily, she did not verbally abuse me too harshly, but she was upset. I felt bad. I would have sent them overnight at my expense if she would have logged in sooner, but she just didn't. So that was a really blunder on my part. I lost the sales. I made someone mad by trying to be too nice before I knew would have logged in sooner. This. So that's my Poshmark, my bad. Okay, the next one. Reseller tip of the day, working smarter. Hugo, Tiffany?
For us, diversifying. And that means diversifying on the different platforms.
Or within the same platform.
Yeah. So if you don't feel comfortable cross-posting, because clearly accidents happen, we think diversifying within your own platform and trying, you know, other clothing items. If you're only doing tops, if you're only comfortable doing tops, then try pants or try jackets and try vintage stuff and hard goods.
Hard goods. And I mean, just try something new. If your sales are down and you're really stuck in a certain type of, like, say you love doing clothes, well, venture out to some hard goods that you feel comfortable with, just to start diversifying and get some different sales.
Yeah.
And that's what we've learned, because we've had some days where our eBay sells nothing, but then thankfully Posh and Macari pick up the slack and we get sales over there, or vice versa. Sometimes we're thrilled and we have sales on all platforms in one day, even though it's really just because we made like $1 on each, but technically we sold on all platforms.
Yeah, a win is a win. And I think,
and the other one just really is check comps. I think those should go hand in hand. Always check comps. Don't assume you know.
Well, unless Julie's like $1,000 plate, that's different.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah. But for us, you know, it's like an item might have sold really well 6 months ago for us, and then we'll find the same item, we'll look it up again, the market is tanked on it. And so we have seen that. So we don't really take our chances, even if it's a really well-known brand. We have found that things tank, and we don't want to take that risk and leave the store with something just because we knew it was going to sell well. It might not in 5 months from now. So we'll always check it before we leave.
Totally agree. The market changes so fast on some items. Totally agree. Julie? And by the way, Julie Casa Chic runs Julie's Casa Chic tip of the day on Instagram, which is what she's most famous for. So you definitely, if you're not already following Julie on Instagram, you need to be, because she does her tip of the day every day. They are awesome. She's adored over there for that. So do you have something for us today?
You're so nice. Well, I think working smarter, not harder, is really, really something that all resellers need to work on all the time. And, you know, I've been doing this for almost 19 years, and my business grows and profits every year, and I haven't had to hire help, and I do it by myself. My husband has a regular job in an office. I don't have any help, so I do it all myself, and my business has always been successful and become more successful every year by just sourcing better. That's the bottom line. And I think that a lot of people, sometimes it's fun when you go out wherever you're sourcing and you see things for cheap and you're like, well, this is only $1, or, you know, this is so cute, but really focusing on, is it going to sell? Am I going to make a profit? And I really, really think that, I know a lot of people I've seen on Instagram and on Facebook, a lot of people have jumped into reselling and now they're jumping out because they're like, wait a minute, I'm working so hard and I'm not making any money. And I think working hard is great, and it is hard, but I think focusing on what you're sourcing is so, so important. And that's like why I started my sourcing school, but that's on the side. I really think the difference between successful resellers and unsuccessful resellers, and resellers that stick around for a while, like you, Yvon and I have been doing this. I don't know how long you've been on eBay, probably almost as long as I have. Successful resellers stay in their own lane, figure out what to sell, and don't just follow what everyone else is doing, and focusing on what is going to make a profit. What can I buy this for? What can I sell this for? And really sourcing smarter, instead of just going, there's nothing in the store, I'm just going to take some stuff because it's $1. I really think that's the difference between people who don't burn out and people who are in it for a while, that they source smarter and not necessarily work harder. Because I work part-time and my business is successful. So it's because I source well.
I totally agree. I'm pretty excited for your new Patreon group. I think some people are really going to enjoy it. I saw you just dropped it, and already you have people have signed up.
Yeah.
The link for Julie's Patreon, if you're interested and want to work with Julie more closely, is down below. Yeah, because I want to tell you guys something. It's a secret. Not everyone tells the truth on the internet. Did you guys catch that? That was a secret. Okay, so where are we at? We are with Kenneth. Tip of the day. I know you got one. You were like the reseller handyman.
Yeah. Okay, I tell you guys, I'm going to share something with you. Velcro. What a bitch Velcro is. You know, all the hair gets stuck in the loops and the hooks and all that. I came up with a way to save my old butt some time. Check this out. That's a dog brush there. No. Let's see. We don't use it for the dog. Let's get it over here. Sorry. Can you see that? Yeah, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, this won't hurt the dog. It's not going to hurt a jacket either.
Hurt the dog. No animals were harmed in the making of this video.
And you know,
Wow.
it's
like it.
pretty darn clean.
That didn't scratch up your jacket at all?
No, no. This is someone else's jacket. I'm just holding it for them. No, I do that on all Velcro, and I have never had an issue with anything. And it always works. And yeah.
That's great.
You guys know that, don't you?
I didn't until I saw it on your Instagram, because I'm like, oh snap, I need that for my personal closet. I've got some, snow gear, and I'm like, I'm always picking out dog hair. My dog is a Shih Tzu. So
Yeah.
I was like, that was so simple. Why did I have to be told that? That was so simple.
The work smarter, not harder. Oh my, I work extremely hard every day, but I do tend to list in bulk. If it's all pants, I'll go with all pants, hats, whatever it may be. Of course, I think we all agree the key to being successful is sourcing, and sourcing the correct item. I know I've donated. I've really been doing clothing for 1.5 years on eBay, and I started learning brands in my life 1.5 years ago. I'm a short sandal kind of guy. And so in the beginning, I bought what I wore. Wow, I wore trash, guys. And then I realized just because I don't like it doesn't mean that someone else does. And of course, the comps reflected. I never bought a polo item in my life, but gosh, I own more now than most people have in their life. Only due to the fact they flip so quickly. I think that's about it.
Well, thank you so much. I want to say something about Kenneth here. He just gave us a tip for those of you that do YouTube. If you weren't paying close attention, he taught this to me the other week, and I think it's brilliant. Again, why didn't I think of that? Did you guys see the way he switched cameras instantly? He didn't get up and move to the table. He showed me. He figured out that you can go up to the top if you're doing YouTubes, go up to the top of your Hangout. This is for people who are doing YouTubes through Hangout. Go to your settings and just simply switch your camera where you had already had a second camera set up for your presentation. So I want to give him props for that. That was pretty awesome. You know what, you guys, before I do a tip, I just realized I didn't do my unique sale of the day, my Bolo. And it kind of ties in with what Kenneth was saying. So let's do that. I just sold this yesterday. It only took a few days to sell. Ooh. This is something that a lot of people would call ugly. I hate that word. Can we just say tacky instead, maybe? But this is actually from Seedless. Let me put it up and see if you guys can see it. Seedless Clothing Company. It's kind of a new, if you go wiki them, they're kind of a new company, but they are affiliating themselves with the 420 crowd and the High Times Magazine Cannabis Cup. So yeah, this is a 420 outfit. It's got skulls. It's got the little dabber dude. Seedless Clothing Company. Music bands were involved in their parties. What else do? They do the 420 party. Anyways, they also make clothing. This one's pretty rare. I got $65 for it, and it's not even in perfect condition. And it only took a few days. So typically, if I was just doing bread and butter stuff or like whatever the mall stuff, I would have just passed right by something like this. But I lean toward the more unique stuff, and I'm not afraid of it. So there was my unique sale of the day. 420, that's a subculture, right? I don't know if you can call it a subculture right now. It's growing, right? But anyways, the 420 crowd, they like their memorabilia. They like their swag too, okay? So there you go. But on a more serious note, that was serious money. Okay, so my reseller tip of the day this will be for saving money and working smarter, not harder. Most of you probably already know this. Get you some silver metallic Sharpies, because a lot of the Goodwills, they mark the bottom of our shoes with the silver Sharpie. And sometimes we just can't get it off. So you can just turn it into like a stock number. That's kind of a standard, but a new person might not have thought of it yet. The things from our tape, guys, from our tape rolls, save them. You just squish them and you can use them for packing material. I personally use them to protect mugs, the handle of mugs. So that's what I use them for. All right. That was it. Next segment is the 1099 diversity report, more money. So, does anybody have, Hugo, Tiffany, anything interesting in one of your other side hustles that you want to share?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're always up for work. So we have our personal training business together. So we normally train evenings during the week, and then on the weekends are a really full schedule. So I teach on the weekends in the morning, and then Hugo's at my family's restaurant doing the grocery run. And then we will meet up after 3. We train a few clients. We get our workout in. And during the week, I recently just picked up I was the student services coordinator / instructor / lab instructor at the school where I work at.
Many hats.
And my boss, we just became a Title IV school, which means that now we accept FAFSA. So he proposed a new position to me, which is financial aid director. So I'll be transitioning into that position, or I started transitioning a few weeks ago. So I'll be the official director there. And then the restaurant, like we run my family's 2 restaurants, and they're 2, I guess, like really big Vietnamese restaurants in
our community.
And I handle the finances at home, and Hugo does the day-to-day.
Yeah. So, I mean, the good thing is, again, being diverse and having different, like the beauty of this is talking about 1099, having outside of reselling jobs, is we have a check from different like streams.
Yeah,
like
different revenue streams.
Yeah, revenue streams, which has been helpful because certain times one is not as strong as the other. But in terms of right now, the update, I mean, in California, when it pours, people don't want to come out. So right now it's been pouring a little bit, which means the restaurant slows down, which means I have more time to resell.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the restaurant is really busy and I can't make it in, but the restaurant's busy. So then the restaurant's giving me the check. So all the other seasons.
Sorry. You know what I think I know about life? What I think I know about life at my age is when your heart is in things and your heart's in the right place, somehow everything works out. It all balances out like by the end of the month, by the end of the year. That's just what I think I know so far.
Yeah, I mean, we've slowly picked up that our passion really comes down to training and reselling.
Yeah.
We really enjoy both of those because during training,
we're working together. So we train together. Reselling, we do that together. And I think that because we enjoy working together, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
So we could spend an entire day together sourcing, but it's fun. So it doesn't feel like we're working, which makes the time go by fast, which makes it enjoyable. It's not stressful. It doesn't feel like it's hard work because we're doing it together and we enjoy our time together doing it.
That's so awesome. And it shows. It shows when you meet Hugo and Tiffany, if you go to eBay Open, maybe you'll get to meet them again for 2019 or some of the meetups that they go to. You'll just kind of feel. Well, Julie, anything? You've got a couple side hustles. Do you have anything for the 1099 report?
Well, sort of like to build on what Tiffany and Hugo just said. I mean, I have a legal consulting practice. I help out lawyers with trial preparation, and it's medical malpractice. And sometimes I have a lot of work to do for the lawyers, and sometimes I don't. And that's the great thing about reselling, as long as you don't depend on your reselling income to pay all your bills, because there are times when I can focus a lot of time on reselling. And then there's times when, the law work comes first because there's definitely a deadline. So there's days when my reselling is I only list my 5 items, which I try to list 5 items a day, which I think helps sales. But other than that and shipping, I spend the day working on a law project. And so that's really one of the great parts about reselling is that you don't have to, unlike having a restaurant or having a nail salon or something where you have to be open every day and certain hours and you have to be there. And if your employees call in sick, all that. Reselling, you can amp up when you need to and you can dial it down. And I had retail stores for almost 7 years and I still kept my eBay business, but really low. You know, I still had some consignment clients and I just listed a few things and I still made a little money and I kept those accounts in good standing. But then when I decided to sell the retail businesses, I was able to just amp eBay right back up to where I needed to be. So that's really, really one of the great parts about reselling, especially if you have little kids at home or you have family to take care of. You know, if your kid is sick, you don't have to list this week. It's fine. Just get your shipping done on time. Make sure you're shipping on time. But other than that, that's one of the great things about reselling is if your other businesses or your other things are going on, you don't have to focus on your eBay or your Poshmark, and it will be there. As long as you pay your eBay fees and you ship when you're supposed to ship, your business you could not list for months and then get right back on there. So
right back in it.
Yeah.
The flexibility is priceless, and I know exactly what you mean. It's, you know, as soon as you start feeding it, it'll take off again for you. So excellent. Kenneth, a 1099 report. You got any other side hustles you want to talk about this month?
Side hustles, I guess just life in general. My wife has a hair salon. When I built this residence, I put a master up and a master down, and we turned it into a hair salon. So I am her personal assistant. I mold the towels, I do the foils, I hang the smocks, and I sweep the floor. So, you know, as far as side hustles, I've got a couple of projects working. I've got a guy that designs apps, and he's looking into an app I came up with. I've got another one that's a reselling tool. But as far as side hustle incomes, no, besides reselling.
Well, I do. Of course, I always joke I'm a trophy wife. I got married. I'm a trophy. I always joke. Sometimes I'll call myself a real housewife of eBay. No, I do work a little bit just for my own sanity and extra spending money. And also because we are older, we're in our 50s, so that when Steve does want to retire, we have something to, you know, keep us off the streets, right? And, you know, supplement our Social Security. So my other side hustle is anyway. So back to being a trophy wife is that, you know, that's a job too. I view that as a job. You know, it takes time to take care of my household, run things. I'm really big on keeping my husband happy because that man gets his ass up and goes to work every day and brings home a significant portion of the money. So I keep him healthy and happy so he goes to work and loves it. The other thing is I am a pro-am poker player, and sometimes I am lucky and I make a little side money on that. I'm a caretaker for my father also, and that does pay me a little bit of a, how do you say stipend or stipend? Julie, how do you say that word? Stipend?
Stipend.
Okay. And then some local sales, and I'll do some consulting, whatever. And, I did keep my massage license and my esthetician license. I do pay for them yearly and twice a year, just in case I ever need, maybe I will want to open up a salon again or go do it part-time or to teach. I have also been a massage therapy instructor and the head of a department at a trade school. So at any time, I can hop back into that. The reason I don't do it is trade schools don't pay very well. I think the most you can make is about $18, $20 an hour, depending on location. I don't know what it's like maybe in California or New York, but here in the middle, that's about what it is. So I can make more money on eBay, right? Or whatever. So, but I keep it in my back pocket just in case. All right.
Yeah, I have a real estate license that I've had since I was in college.
Oh gosh.
My dad made me get it when I was in college because I was an English major. He was afraid I was never going to get off his payroll. And he was a real estate developer. And so I have never used it, but I paid that fee every year to keep it so that if I ever decide, like, you know what, I need a job. I have a law license, I have a real estate license. It's nice to have a little cushion like that. So if you guys have licenses, pay whatever it is to keep them because it's a nice backup if stuff hits the fan.
It feels like a security blanket too. I have a real estate license too. I forgot about that. It's on ice. I don't love that. I don't love real estate.
I don't either. But you know what?
I don't love it. It's not my groove at all. So I don't know. Okay, so the next segment, unless someone has something to add to the previous sections, something they just thought of, we'll move on then. The next segment is just the Q&A, Ask Us Anything. Does anybody have any questions? We've got a little bit of time left. I think this show went well. I cannot thank you all enough for coming in. Everybody gave us shout outs. Lindy gave us a shout out. How awesome was that? So let's just give a little quick time for the chat to catch up and see if anybody needs help with anything.
I have a question.
You do?
Are Kenneth, Tiffany, Hugo, are you guys going to eBay Open this year?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going for sure.
We knew we were going when we were leaving eBay Open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I am up in the air. Isn't it in April?
I thought it was
July.
July. Oh,
It's in
I've
July.
got plenty of time. Yeah.
No, you're going.
Yeah.
I've gone for the past 2 years and I thought it was really fun and really great information. And the people you meet there are just it's so great to meet your virtual friends in person and talk to other resellers. And I don't know if I'm going this year though.
I'm so sad about that because last time all we got to do was give each other a hug in passing. Like that's all.
We're having drinks, so don't worry. No, I might. It's my 25th anniversary in November, so my husband and I might be planning a little trip, and I don't know if I can swing both.
The fish. Sell the fish.
Right? If I sell the fish, I'm going to put that money in an account just for eBay Open.
Okay, and he won't celebrate your anniversary at eBay Open?
My husband is a sales manager for a company that has nothing to do with reselling. He is not. He's a sales guy, but he doesn't even have an eBay account. Like if he needs to buy something, he tells me to buy it. And he's gone both years with me and he talks to everybody and he loves it. And he thinks he's going to help me build my business, which he tries. But I paid for him to go both years and he went and had a great time. So
yeah, I got to say hi to him real quick.
Yeah.
Too.
It's like probably the only person at eBay Open that has nothing to do with this business. So it's pretty funny.
There's a question, Stark Ravenwild. Best and worst thing about eBay or reselling in your opinion?
Will you take it? For some reason, Tiffany, I've lost my real-time chat. So will you host this?
Yeah.
You continue on and host this while I try to get it in check?
Yeah. Let's see. So for us, what would be the best and worst thing about eBay or reselling?
I think one of the best parts is you could evolve it to what you like. I know there's always a billion different items everyone's talking about that are selling, which are great, but if you don't care or know enough about them, it won't work well for you. Yeah. If you really don't know or care about car parts, but you find out they're selling, what good is it for you to get in and try to sell an alternator when you don't know what it is? But if you really like say sports equipment and you're really good at understanding sports equipment, well, you'll find things that sell well because you know it without stress. So I think that's the best part, being able to evolve it towards something you like.
It's customizable.
Yeah.
To you.
But the downside to that, I think, would probably be that there's no clock out when you're a reseller. So you have to work on clocking out.
And creating boundaries.
Yeah, because when you work at home, you could be like, you'll sit there, watch TV or having dinner, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, you know what, I should probably just get in there and list some more. And then you slowly.
Yeah. Or if you get into the groove of like listing or photographing or whatever it is, that time can just get lost.
Yeah.
Because you're just on a roll.
So the downside is you can spiral into just a crazy work mode, and it's great to hustle, but at the same time, you got to find balance in life. Yeah. It does you no well to hustle to the point where you're not feeling well.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I've been mostly self-employed all my life, like what, 30 some years or so. And yeah, it takes, you really have to remember how to clock out in your mind, because otherwise you always feel like there's something to do. There's something to do, like you in your mind too, not just physically, like go watch Netflix, but like clock out here.
Yeah, because even if we're watching Netflix or we try to sit down and watch a movie, sometimes we'll catch ourselves adjusting offers or taking offers.
So we made a deal.
Like, with no phones, we're going to watch a movie.
Yeah, we put the phones away. We put them on silent. We watched an entire movie together. Like, no checking of the phones.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiffany or Kenneth or Julie, whoever, is there another question? I lost my chat.
There is. It says, do you each sell on Poshmark as well as eBay? Is Poshmark just for clothes, or is it a good platform for other kinds of items? I sell on Poshmark now as well as eBay. eBay is my first love. I love eBay. eBay allowed me to stay home and be a full-time stay-at-home mom while still contributing to my family. If you ask my kids if I worked, they would probably say no, even though I was working while they were in school and I was the PTA president and all that good stuff. But still being able to contribute into my family. And Poshmark though is great for selling clothes. And if you're not on Poshmark and you're organized enough to be able to delete items, I think Poshmark is great. I'm selling a lot of clothes on Poshmark, and I pretty much cross-list all my clothes on Poshmark. But you can sell clothes, shoes, handbags, and jewelry and makeup on Posh, but you can sell hard goods on Posh, and they will kick you off, or they'll kick off your listings if you don't sell those things. So.
Are you guys on Poshmark too, Kenneth and Hugo and Tiffany?
We are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. We're on Poshmark. And we've
are
noticed.
You, Kenneth?
I am not on Poshmark and going to my third Posh and Sip.
You go to Posh and Ships anyways?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because don't you live here? Aren't you a friend of Jenna Empty Hanger?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I love her.
She's a good pro about Poshmark.
We can't say friend. She lives in the hood relatively, you know.
Yeah, I have a love-hate with Poshmark. I was there, I left, I went back. But I got to say, I put my big girl panties on, because sometimes when eBay sales are a little slower, for some reason, Poshmark is hitting it high. So I just had to kind of like slow my mind and wrap my head around, you know, checking them for cross sales as soon as I wake up. And then also, this might be blasphemy to some people, I don't do a lot of the things they say you have to do, and I do just fine. I'm not on there all day long sharing and all that. I just cross post what I think will work there, you know, check in a couple times.
That's what scares me from Poshmark.
Yeah.
All the sharing. Although I've seen many videos where those girls are doing it like this, but since I don't rely solely on Poshmark, I don't worry about it. I put what I think is going to really good seller over there, and then just do the bare minimum. But I still want it in place, because again, who knows what could happen? It's a diversification, right? So at any time, I know I can go in there and kick it up, fan the flame. So it's in place, and I'm learning. And we have sales over there. So I'm running about $300 a week over there. So I can't sneeze at that, right? Yeah.
Well, in Poshmark, once the buyer, and this is on Mercari too, once the buyer accepts the item, it's out of your life forever, and you get your money, and you don't have a PayPal chargeback, and you don't have an eBay case opened up, and you don't get returns. You know, once, you know, you can get returns or people sending the stuff back, but they only have 3 days. So when you sell something really expensive on eBay, don't spend that money right away, because the person could come back. I've had, you know, very, very few and far between. The problems are so minuscule compared to the amount I've sold. But, you know, once in a while I had somebody return an $800 handbag after they wore it for 3 weeks. So on Poshmark, they have 3 days to decide if they want it or not. And that's a really, really amazing part about selling, because you're selling used clothes. So, or used shoes. I mean, you don't want them back. So that's a really, really great part about Poshmark. And I just share my closet once a day. And it takes a while. I have a lot of things on there, but I don't do like the sharing of I don't do all that Poshmark stuff either. And my sales seem fine over there.
Yeah. The shipping charge is what really appeals to me too. Like if you're wanting to do lots or bundles or reseller boxes, which we'll save that for next month, that topic, because we're getting close to clock out time. But it's the shipping is awesome, an awesome alternative over there. So you guys still have to check the chat for me. Anything else? If not,
Bonanza. Anyone selling Bonanza? I don't.
I don't.
Nor do I.
Okay.
Well, it's about 12:05. So we've had a great hour. I want to thank everyone for coming in. So we're going to leave you with our little mantras in Mojo, some mental life hacks or physical or whatever. So Hugo and Tiffany, I know you got something for us.
Well, so if you don't follow us already on Instagram, that's really where we do most of our stuff. Part of it is because we're on the go, so we both just pick it up easily while we're doing something. But we like to stay positive. And even if you're having a bad day or bad sales, somehow keep it positive. And for us this year, we're pretty much trying to keep positive and profitable.
Crush it 2019. And we watch Parks and Rec. And there's a little scene on Parks and Rec where the character April, she starts screaming out, "Time is money." But the whole saying is, time is money, money is power, power is pizza, pizza is knowledge. So when we go to the thrift store and I'm running out the car and running into the thrift store, I scream that at Hugo and I'm bolting into the store.
I'm not bolting. I'm like Sasquatch coming into the store.
Okay, Julie, you got a mantra, some Mojo, a life hack for us?
Yeah, you know, crunch your own numbers and stay in your own lane and stop. You know, I love Instagram. I love Facebook. I love to learn from other resellers, but don't always pay attention because there's a lot of big stacks of packages and all that stuff that you can easily, if you're not focusing on your own business, feel bad about your business. And you know, somebody's stack of 10 packages could be $10 profit, where your one box could be $300 profit. So just really focus on your own numbers and how you're doing and how you can improve your own business, and stop comparing yourself and focusing on what everyone else is doing, because lots of hype going on.
Don't make me whisper again.
But I don't think, you know, some people like to post their stacks because they want to motivate other people, because look, I sold 20 things. You know, that's great. And I don't think it's necessary. But if you start going, well, I only sold 5 things, you know, what's wrong with me? It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You might have had a great weekend. And people have different business models, and people work in teams, or people work by themselves, or people are selling different things. So stop comparing yourself in any aspect of life, but especially in reselling, to what everyone else is doing.
And, you know, not to be a brat, but sometimes those pictures are empty boxes. So I'm just saying, I'm just going to leave that there and move on. Okay, Kenneth, give us some words of wisdom, some mantras, some Mojo, a life hack.
Oh my, I'm at a loss for words.
No, you ain't on this one.
you know, guys, I said I was 30. Sometimes I love to think that, but I do roll with a 20 to 30 something crowd, and this EDM tribe, they taught me this word called plur, and it's spelled Plur, and that's how this tribe rolls. And it's truth, peace, love, unity, and respect. And I tell you, it doesn't matter what someone does. Respect them for it. They did something. And you know, if all of us could just roll that way, it'd be a hit place. Yeah, that's my mantra.
I saw that on your Instagram profile. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Is that an official group, like, or is it a hashtag? Or
no, that's electronic dance music groupies live roll.
Like
So we have live.
Huh?
Like Burning Man? Go ahead, Tiffany.
No, that's just how they roll. They believe in peace, love, unity, and respect, and that's just part of their life.
Okay. Well, I'll close it out with mine, and then I'm a freedom tracker. That's one of my big hashtags and one of my big mantras. And if you know anything about hunting, which hang on, I'm going to connect the dots here. To hunt animals, so to speak, or whatever, you have to be like them. Okay, that's the theory behind it. So to be a freedom tracker, you know, you have to try to embody some of the aspects of freedom. So freedom tracking is probably one of my biggest mantras that I use for myself. Am I tracking freedom right now? Okay, does anybody have any announcements, anything interesting coming up they want to shout out before we say goodbye to everybody? Julie, I know you have your Patreon, right? I put it down.
Sourcing school, yeah. If you want to learn how to become a better fashion sourcer, you can sign up.
Link below the video description, and you can read more about Julie's activities over there and what it's about. Hugo and Tiffany, you're probably going to be on somebody's show or a meetup somewhere, right?
Well, so right now, so far, we don't have meetups or shows planned out with somebody else yet. But we are working on...
We have a Cali meetup, Southern California meetup with Thrifting Nomads, who's in the chat right now. We're still trying to figure out the dates and all that good stuff, but that'll be coming up soon.
Yeah, but besides that, we're trying to keep a weekly live on IG at least, and hopefully I'm going to try to double up and do it IG simultaneous with YouTube for us. But every Monday, we try to announce the time. Like today, we're going to do live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we like to alternate every week. So we're doing it every Monday. And one Monday is mostly reselling. Then the other one, we'll talk about health tips because we're trainers and we like to give everyone some ideas of some healthy habits, which ends up still being reselling related because we go back to reselling.
But healthy tips for resellers every other Monday.
Okay, Kenneth, you got anything coming up, or are you doing any lives on Instagram or anything like that?
No, I don't do much live stuff. This is the second video I've ever done. So, no, nothing much. Just working on some stuff, but I will go live with some stuff soon. I'm going to a Posh meeting. I think it's next month. And I'm going to do an unveiling there, and immediately after that, we're going to do it on Instagram.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, again, just one more reminder, down below the video description, I have everybody's links to their Instagram. And you can catch their YouTube by the 3 dots on the right side of their name in the chat. We will see you next month. Please, please, please. Again, it falls on a Monday. I mean, on the 4th. We are doing these shows once a month. Monday. Somebody help me. Once every...
The first Monday.
First Monday of every month.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Peace out. We love you all. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.